The Duel of Mages is a 4-person cooperative confrontation card game. The background of the game is inspired by the novel Duel of Mages, which tells a story about ancient gods and their cause fight for their faith, and the game mechanic refers to magic, Hearthstone, and other classic card games. In the Duel of Mages, player will be divided into 2 teams. As the setup of the game, each player can choose an element and build their deck. There are 4 elements in the game: War, Will, Division, and Death. Each element has different cards to build up unique strategy for players. According to the effect and target of the card they played, players can attack their enemy or protect their team. At the start of each round, players can gain crystal by rolling the magic dice into a special spell wheel. Crystal are the main resource in the game, allow players to play card or upgrade themselves. To ensure the balance of the game, players also have their main crystal, which can restore every round and be increased by upgrading. Then the player will draw 8 cards from their deck. There are 2 types of the cards: spell and action. To imitate the process of chanting spells, players need to play spell card first and trigger the spell with the action cards. Spell cards can give an action more power. However, most of the spell cards are essentially effectless before action card is played. Players have their own numbers to represent them. In the first round, turns start clockwise from the player 1. Later, the turn will start from the first skip player last round. On their turn, a player must choose to perform one of the following: play a card, purchase a common card, exchange diamonds, which can be used as any element, or to upgrade the main crystal, upgrade main crystal, and skip for the rest of this round. Cards must be played on the specific card slot on the placemat. There are 4 number slots for each player, which designates the player with the same number as its target. The action card and the spell card triggered by it will affect the target player of the slot that the action card is played. Spell cards will stay on the slot until it is triggered by the action card, so the player must be careful to consider where should they play the card. Here is an example of an complete attacking process. As a result, the player deals 8 damage to player 4, and can steal all the crystal on the card of the player 4. As an addition of this game, I want the player to experience the chanting process and build their own strategy throughout their deck. I want to let the players have a balanced and interesting strategic confrontation. That's why I designed the spell action system and the death rolling part. In the early version, the game was 1 versus 1. The players rolled dice every turn just to play their hand cards. Their deck was built with all cards, not just from one element, which caused the game to be very unstable. Mostly depended on luck. Also, the 2-person competition easily fall into a boring situation in the late stage, when players have fully understood each other's possible strategies. Thus, I have reduced the frequency of players rolling dice and add main crystal and cards that can help the player farm their resource. 2 vs 2 mode was also introduced to the game. I believe that cooperation will enhance the diversity of strategies. Now the game is more stable and strategic. The pace of the game is also greatly accelerated. Players may win or lose in several round games, and there are many ways to reverse the situation. I still have some that I want to change about the game. For example, adding new elements and cards, balancing after a player is defeated, and other small balance adjust between elements. That's all about the Duel of Mages. Thanks for watching.